I do think that she's a bit delusional here, and also like maybe the slightest bit disrespectful, because I don't know.
The tension surrounding Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about legacy. It's about identity. And it's about how corporate America chooses who gets to shine under the brightest spotlight. When Adidas handed Clark an unprecedented $28 million contract, it sent shockwaves through the sports world, not just because of the amount, but because of who was receiving it. She's a rookie, a white woman in a predominantly black league, a face still fresh on the WNBA stage. And suddenly, she's not just a rising star. She's the most endorsed player in women's basketball history. For some, that was a moment to celebrate. For others, it was a hard pill to swallow. It's easy to say, don't be mad at Caitlin Clark, she's just doing what every athlete dreams of. But the truth is layered in far more complexity. Clark is now earning roughly $3.5 million a year through that Adidas deal, not to mention other partnerships and media engagements. Yet, in all this celebration, something feels off. Where are the Nike ads? Where are the commercials flooding our screens with Clark's face?
Clark reminded everybody who she is in the Fever win over the Wings in what was a blowout victory, one where Clark didn't even shoot the ball well.
Where are the billboards, the exclusive merch drops, the signature shoe that athletes of her caliber are expected to receive? We've seen it before. Nike gets behind a star, and the world knows about it. LeBron, Serena Covey, Jordan. Yet Caitlin Clark, despite her historic deal, is still waiting for that kind of rollout. And it raises a question no one in the league wants to say out loud. I'm hesitant to give a white rookie the full superstar treatment before a black MVP gets her due. It's not just about Clark. It's also about players like A'ja Wilson, a certified WNBA champion, a 3-time MVP, the face of a franchise. And somehow, still waiting for the kind of shoe deal Clark just landed in her rookie season. Is it envy? Or is it something more insidious, a sign that the brands see more money in a fresh?
Josh Hart should have flamed her. He should have sent her into the abyss. 11-0. Let's be honest.
White face, then a proven black legend. The parallels to men's sports are unmistakable. When Zion Williamson entered the NBA, he was instantly surrounded by a storm of marketing unlike anything the league had seen in years. Jaw-dropping highlight reels, massive sneaker deals, and national campaigns. Meanwhile, established stars had to grit their teeth and watch the torch get passed before they even got their moment in the sun. A'ja Wilson, despite her accolades and consistency, is now caught in a corporate shadow. Her accomplishments are undeniable, her leadership unquestionable. But still, no signature shoe. No flashy marketing campaign. And now, she's being told implicitly or explicitly that her moment must wait because someone newer, someone younger, someone perhaps more commercially appealing has entered the room. And the first woman to ever get a signature shoe, Sheryl Swoopes. The original icon, the one who helped launch the WNBA. Her Nike Air Swoops weren't just a product, they were a statement. That women's basketball mattered, that it sold. That greatness could be captured in a shoe just as powerfully for a woman as it was for Michael Jordan. Now decades later, as Clark becomes the face of a new era.
So we need to be completely honest about A'ja Wilson here, because these are some of the dumbest, conversations ever in sport.
It's fair to wonder, has the league forgotten the women who built it? Are we watching the corporate world rewrite history, pretending Clark's arrival is the true genesis of women's basketball profitability? Because make no mistake, Clark is profitable. Her jersey sales are through the roof. Her game appearances drive ratings never before seen in the WNBA. Every time she touches the ball, millions are watching, and her Adidas merchandise sold out within minutes of dropping online. She's not just marketable, she's a media empire in the making. But the silence from Nike speaks volumes. And behind the curtain, murmurs swirl that Nike isn't ready to launch Clark's signature shoe because they're afraid of the optics, giving a rookie one who hasn't even won a WNBA title a signature shoe before A'ja Wilson could spark backlash. And yet, doesn't that reveal the deeper hypocrisy? If Wilson deserves a shoe, why hasn't it already happened? Why are fans and executives suddenly concerned with fairness now that Clark is in the picture? It's not Clark's fault, and that's what makes this controversy so complicated. She's not the villain, she's just the lightning rod. She didn't make the rules. She's just playing by them better than anyone else.
The Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. This was a highly anticipated game because it was going to be the first time that.
But in the eyes of many veterans, it's hard not to feel the sting when someone seemingly jumps the line when legacy and blood, sweat, and tears are seemingly ignored in favor of buzz. Sheryl Swoopes knows that feeling. She's been vocal about the shifting priorities in women's sports. Back in her day, the marketing was sparse, the money even more so. Now, brands are tripping over themselves to align with the new era. While progress is beautiful, it's also painful when it seems to come at the expense of recognition for those who paved the road. What's happening now is the WNBA reckoning with the business of sports. Talent alone doesn't dictate who gets the endorsements. Marketability, social media presence, and cultural relevance carry just as much weight. And in that world, Clark dominates. She brings in new fans. She lights up highlight reels. She bridges the gap between casual viewers and hardcore basketball fans. She's the cultural zeitgeist and the brands know it. But the question remains, can the WNBA elevate Clark without sidelining the women who got it to this point? Even players like Nika Ogwimik, president of the WNBA Players Association, and another icon in her own right, are watching these developments with cautious optimism. On one hand, Clark's success could lift the league as a whole. More eyeballs, more money, more legitimacy.
Clark reminded everybody who she is in the Fever win over the Wings in what was a blowout victory, one where Clark didn't even shoot the ball well.
But on the other hand, if the spotlight stays fixed on one player too long, others risk being left in the shadows. Let's not forget Candace Parker, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie, legends who carried the league through its growing pains. They deserve to see the fruits of their labor, too, but in today's sports economy, nostalgia doesn't sell nearly as fast as hype, and that hype machine is relentless. From college to the pros, Caitlin Clark has been on an unprecedented run. Her national championship game drew over 20 million viewers. Her WNBA debut broke records. Her social media clips go viral within seconds. There's never been a rookie like her in women's basketball, but the rapid ascent also risks alienating those who feel like they're watching history get rewritten in real time, with themselves omitted. Even the notion that Clark may not get her own signature shoe until 2026 or 2027 reveals how the business works. Marketing is calculated. Executives are balancing optics with profits, and in the process, they're exposing just how political this all really is. Because in men's sports, if a rookie shows they can sell, the product gets launched, period. No one stops to make sure the vets are okay with it. But here, the hand-wringing is endless. And it's the fans, the players, and the league who suffer. The longer brands hesitate, the more divided the narrative becomes. Meanwhile, the landscape of the WNBA is changing beneath our feet. With fantasy basketball rising and gambling integrations on the horizon, attention is currency. And Clark is the richest player in town. But attention is fickle. One injury, one slump, one scandal. It all can shift in a heartbeat. And when it does, the league better hope it hasn't alienated the very women it should have been elevating all along. So, what does the future hold?
Caitlin Clark. Look, now you got 3 players in double figures. You got Howard, you got...
Will Clark and Wilson coexist as co-faces of the league? The sad reality is that we live in a moment where race, gender, money, and fame collide like never before.